Hey everyone, it's Drew from Top City Gear. And I just wanted to make a quick video just about something that recently occurred to me, and that is the issue of how quickly I could dial 911 on my smartphone if I was ever involved in a seconds count emergency situation. And I've kind of been thinking back and forth on it about a couple of different scenarios as to what might cause me to dial slower or faster or what have you. And just just a couple of things on that. I've noticed that I do have an iPhone, I should probably say. I do use that. So I have noticed that sometimes if I was in an app and I shut the phone off, there's a little bit of time delay from getting from that app back to the phone. So that is a factor you might want to think about. And also, sometimes these touch screens on these new phones that seem to be what everybody's going to now, they do kind of have, sometimes they're touchy. So especially if you're stressed out, if you're in a dangerous situation and you're stressed, maybe you're shaky, if your finger hits the wrong button, even though it doesn't even have buttons, it's got, a screen. If you hit the wrong part on the screen, it might take you from, if you did manage to get out of one app, get to dial the phone number part, and you hit the wrong button, you might get back into another app and slow it down even more. So that's something to think about. And also, I was thinking about, what if I actually am unable to dial or to use my phone to dial the phone. Maybe I'm in some kind of situation where I'm wrestling somebody, or my hands are tied up, and maybe I'm going to rely on the person I'm with to use my phone and dial 911. Does that person I'm with even know how to use my phone? I know I've got a handful of relatives, older relatives, typically aunts and uncles, that for one, don't even have a cell phone. Believe it or not, there are still people that don't have cell phones these days. So and let alone them having a cell phone with buttons, if I tried to hand them my iPhone and told them to use it to dial 911, I might as well be giving them a flux capacitor or something. I mean, they just, especially in a stressful situation, I'm confident I know people that would not be able to use my phone. So that's something else to think about. And there's some people might say that to get around the whole dialing issue, maybe you can use some of the voice activation software. And I kind of thought about that. And that there is some merit to that, I suppose. But of course, your phone has to have that. And I just downloaded the latest and greatest software version for the iPhone, like 5.01, 2, 3 or something like that. So it does have the voice dial, which I've been experimenting with. So I just wanted to maybe do a quick demo on that. I went ahead and I programmed in my contacts the number 511, basically just because I don't really want to be calling 911 during this demo, and I figured 511 sounds about as close to 911 as any other number. So at least on my phone, you have to press and hold the main round button here for, I think it's like 3 seconds, and then the voice dial prompt will activate, and it'll let you say dial such and such. So I'm going to try that and just say 511. Let's see how this works here. Dial 511.
Calling 511.
That worked pretty good. That actually did dial it, and you know, it was reasonably quick. Honestly, if I was in another app and I had to get out of that app, go to the number punching screen and dial it, it probably would have taken basically the same amount of time. But there's a little bit of a problem with that, I think, with the voice dialing. Is, if you noticed, I said it in a very calm and collect manner, enunciating properly, at least as good as I can with my accent, hillbilly accent, whatever you want to call it. Depending on where you're from, it's an accent. Maybe where you're from, it's not really an accent. But anyway, what happens if you try to use this voice dial under stress? You know, maybe you're so worked up you're just yelling the number. How good does it work there? Let's try something here. Call 511.
Calling 511.
Hey, it actually worked, surprisingly. That actually did work. I was a little surprised by that because earlier I tried that and it dialed grandma. So I guess it does work sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't, though. So, you know, who knows if that, you know, that voice recognition software may or may not be completely reliable. And I think I've read some places they have trouble with certain accents or dialects. So that's always a concern as well. So basically, I'm going to play around with this voice dial a little bit lately, or a little bit more, but what I had been doing somewhat recently is, if I am going to be putting my phone away for a while, or maybe going into a situation where I know is you know, maybe potentially dangerous, making sure that I'm not in an app, bringing up the phone dial number and then shutting it off and then slipping it in my pocket. And reason for that is because when you turn it back on and open it back up, it's going to be right where you left off, at least on the iPhone. So, you know, that's probably kind of my most 100% sure be able to dial your phone as quick as you can scenario. But I don't know if anybody has really thought much about this. It just kind of occurred to me one day. But if you're somebody that maybe you have a better idea of what could be done for this, or maybe you've got a voice dial program or scenario or story or anything, feel free to leave me a note in the comments. I'd be interested in hear if anybody else has come up with anything better. So thanks for watching, and stay prepared.